Hello everyone, welcome to another round of TBR Mini Star Hop. I feel like we just played this, and it's because we did, but that was a bonus round, and this is like the regular scheduled programming. So this round, I actually do want it to be nice to me. I know it's been 2 rounds in a row, I think, where I'm like, I don't care what it does. It can be mean, it can be whatever. But this round, I actually kind of hope it's nice to me. I've had a very stressful week, and I've had a very stressful day, and I just kind of want a little bit of calm reading, and I don't need my competitive side to come out too much this game. Like, my stress level has been high enough recently that I really just think that it needs to be nice to me. I need to get like maybe 4 books, be able to fit on some TBR books and have it go well. That's what I'm hoping for, but we shall see. Because I want it to be nice, it just probably won't be, and I need to accept that. But let's go ahead and let's jump into the first roll. Okay, here we go with the first roll, and like always, we're not looking for a 6 on this one. I would enjoy anything but a 6. It's a 3! Ooh, I'm actually quite excited about that. Okay, let's see what the prompt is. It's a star prompt, so it's one of the easier ones. So that was kind of perfect, honestly. I love landing on the star. I know 3 is not the biggest number, but the star prompts are the easiest. We didn't land on the black hole. I mean, I am not complaining at all at this point. Like, I'm feeling good about it. Looking at the prompts, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I want something relatively easy, but not too easy. Like, I kind of want just like a nice solid book. I don't know. We'll see. Let's spin. Series. Okay, I have a lot of options for this. I'll be back. Okay, I am back with my options. I have 4 books on my TBR that are within a series, and I think it's pretty like it gives me some good options. So we have Emberclaw, which is the sequel to Dragonfall, and this is the final book in the duology. This one I am really excited about. I like this world. I think that this kind of dragons that are stuck in a different like portal world and the human world that kind of worship them, but there's things going on politically. I don't know. It's just like, I like the different things that are going on, the different perspectives that we're getting. I thought it was a really fun first book, so I'm excited to jump into the second one. I have Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is a sequel to Powerless. This one is a YA romantasy, and we all know that those are always nice to put onto readathons because they're easy to get through. They're really fast. They don't take a lot of brain power. So these ones are always good picks for that. This would be like a top contender because that reason. Again, this series isn't really super unique. It pulls from a lot of other books that have already been written in this genre, but I had a good time with the first one, so I'm hoping I enjoy the second one as well. It wasn't like a favorite, but like it was easy, right? It was fun. Then I have The High King by Lloyd Alexander. This is the 5th and final book in the Chronicles of Prydain series. This one is a very classic high fantasy quest coming of age story, and I've had a really good time with the first 4 books in this series, and I think this one will be a good ending to it. I'm really hoping that I enjoy the ending to the series. And then I have Children of Fallen Gods, which is the 2nd book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy by Carissa Broadbent. This is a high fantasy romantasy series that centers on this woman who is a slave, and she is trying to escape that to go learn magic to be able to use like her power and influence after becoming a member of the orders of like magic wielders in order to come back to her land and free the slaves, and particularly save one of her friends in particular. And I like the dynamic with her and her mentor, and it's a really interesting series. There is a lot of good world building and character development in here. I feel like particularly in the first book, the romance kind of was secondary to the world building and character development, but I'm not sure what we'll see in the second one. So these are my 4 options, and this one just like is not one that I am gonna put on at this point. I don't want to listen to the audiobook for this one either, so I actually don't know if I will put this one on at all. Like, it is up there in my choices as a contender, but like, I don't know, the lack of an audiobook and the length kind of make me hesitate. And I don't think I'm going to put this one on yet either. It's just one that I think would be nice to maybe read in the middle of the night when I'm exhausted. It's a fast read, and it's really my only short book that I have on my TBR for this month. So it is between these two as my final contenders. And I honestly was pulled both ways. I could have gone either way, but the first comment of my patrons that came up that said Emberclaw, that was the first one that was saying which one they thought I should read. So I went with it because I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's the one I want to read. You know how sometimes when you can't make a decision and then someone makes it for you and the way you feel about it shows what you actually wanted? That's what this was. And so I could tell I really did want to read Emberclaw. So we're going to jump into this one. I'm really excited for it. I think this is going to be so much fun, and I hope that it's a really good ending to the duology and that I'm like not disappointed in it. Okay, it is now about 11:30 and I have finished Emberclaw. I actually was pretty close on my guess for when I was going to finish this one. I guessed 11 or between 11 and 12, and it's 11:30, so I'm pretty spot on. So this book was really good. I really enjoyed it. I like the way that the story is told. I like the writing style and just like the storytelling style in general. I can see why some people might not like it for sure. I think that it was a bit rushed to get to the end, and I do think some of the things really weren't very well like developed or explained, but it was in a way where it was kind of okay that it was a little bit vague. I wasn't necessarily upset about it, but it just, yeah, they were a little bit more on the vague side than I would necessarily prefer, but I think it worked for the story. I think it worked for the way that the author told the story. I do think that one of the relationships in particular, it just kind of felt a little bit rushed from where we were at the beginning of this story to where we got to like within halfway through the story with the amount of interaction that was happening. But like, it was okay. I could go with it. I did really like one of our characters and kind of the development and the story that we got of that character in this book. They were a prominent character in the first book and they continued into this one, and I just really liked that character. I don't want to say too much because I don't really want to give any spoilers, but overall I had a good time with this. I thought some of like the twists were really interesting. Some of the different decisions for how to bring it to a conclusion I enjoyed. So yeah, overall this was a good time. I am happy that was the first choice for the readathon, and now we can jump into the next one and just keep our fingers crossed that we don't hit that black hole. Okay, here we go with our next roll. We would like something bigger than a 3 if the game wants to be nice to us. Ooh, I like it. A 5. This is so lovely because honestly, I almost would prefer a 5 over a 6 because that would put us on a sun and we could get a book over 500 pages. So this actually might be better. I will take it. Okay, that was probably best case scenario. I mean, getting a 6 is always ideal, but it is a sun, so this kind of gives us easier prompts, maybe, potentially. We shall see. I'm looking at the prompt options, and I mean, I could do a book over 400 pages. I think I have a couple of options. Monthly TBR is always fine. I mean, I think I could make most of them work pretty well. I think it'll be good. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I am not mad about this because I know it's 11:30 and usually my husband's asleep by this point, but he's actually still awake. He is watching the documentary about the World Series, which we just watched the World Series, and he's now watching a documentary about it. So, I will have him pick. I will come back and let you know what his choice is. Oh, fingers crossed he's nice to me when I just made fun of him for watching his World Series documentary. Ooh. Okay, so he asked me to give him 3 options so that he could pick out of the 3. I think it stresses him out a little bit because I have so many books and they're just too many. So I love that because then I can put books that are on my TBR as his options. First one I gave him was Reckless as an option. Then I gave him The High King, and I also gave him Where the Dark Stands Still. And out of these ones, he decided he was going to pick The High King. I think a lot of it is because he knows that I did not sleep last night. Like, I maybe got a couple of hours of sleep last night, and so I am very tired today. I had a really stressful day yesterday and today, and so like the lack of sleep, the exhaustion, he's like, I'm gonna give you the nice one. Like, here's the nice short one. I think it's his way of encouraging me to get a little bit of sleep tonight instead of just staying up all night reading, which I do appreciate. So the 5th and final book of the Chronicles of Prydain are going to go onto this readathon. I am very excited for this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but I know it's short. But I probably am going to be finishing it sometime in the morning and be doing my next roll sometime in the morning because I really am just so exhausted. I've never been this tired the first night of the readathon. Usually I have so much energy, but yeah, I didn't set myself up for success for this one. So fingers crossed we don't hit that second black hole because I do not know if I have the energy for that. Okay, it's now about 8 in the morning and I've finished The High King by Lloyd Alexander. This is the final book in the story and it really did wrap things up really well. It had a very satisfying ending. I will say some of it I wasn't necessarily expecting. There were some things that I'm like, okay, that's where this came from. This trope that I hate, and granted it might have I feel like I saw it in Tolkien too and just didn't like it. So like, I'm like, okay, this is a popular thing in this time and it has still kept going and persisted and I just don't like it. I can't get into what it is because that would be a complete spoiler of like the entire series, but it's something I'm not a fan of. I did, though, like the story overall. I felt like we got more of the like side part of big battles versus like the big main part, which we usually get in stories. So I thought that was really interesting. And it's kind of cool to see where our character went from like the beginning of this series until now, our main character. So that one is now completed. We are going to jump into the next roll and fingers crossed it's not a black hole. Just fingers crossed. Okay, here we go with the next roll. A 3 would land us on the black hole, so obviously we don't want that. Anything else? A 4, that is beautiful. Yes, I am so excited. Whew, I feel so much better. Like, I don't even care if we have 3 more after this. This is so good. Okay, so we are past the second black hole. I am really happy about this. Again, I don't really even care if we have 3 more books after this. If I roll all 1s until the end, I'm still okay with that. Because we are not going back to the beginning and now I can just kind of like plan my reading accordingly, which I love. I'm honestly not really fussed with what we get, so let's just spin it. I like it. Hardcover, that's very easy to do. I think most of the books left on my TBR are hardcovers, so I have a lot of options for this. Okay, I've come back with the 3 remaining books on my TBR that are hardcovers. So we have Where the Dark Stands Still. This one, I just think I'm going to absolutely love. I feel like this one's probably going to be read on this readathon kind of no matter what at this point, but I just think it should be so good. Look how pretty it is. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to love that book. I also have Children of Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent. This one, ooh, I'm excited about this one. I think I'm going to absolutely love it. Now we are past that second black hole, so I could put like a thicker book on there. So this is now an actual contender, whereas before it was like just me being a little delusional. And then I also have Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This one, it was a gift from my niece, so I do really want to read it, and I feel like she's probably going to read it before me if I don't get going soon, so that's a big reason why I would want it to be read on this readathon for sure, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing after this readathon, just all school, probably. Ooh, what do I want to do? Do I want the challenge? I think I'm going to remove this one. I feel like this might be like my final pick. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like this one's going to be like the next book I read. I don't know why. Why does my brain do this? Anyway, we are between these two. Oh, I am so torn. Actually, you know, I'm not. I just kind of figured I'm going to do this one because then I will probably be able to do my next roll with my patrons on my sprints. And I do like to try to do the rolls on the sprints if possible because it's really fun to discuss book choices with them. It's so fun to do it that way. So this is it. This is the book going on now. I'm really excited about this. I think I should enjoy it. Yes, here we go. It's happening. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Okay, it is now 1 o'clock. Exactly. And I have finished Reckless by Laura Roberts. This book was not as good as the first book, in my opinion. Like, not even close. I feel like the first book, I just felt more engaged in what was happening in the story. It was entertaining. And while I felt like it was very, like, been done before, we're not finding anything new, like, it was fun and I was enjoying it. But this one wasn't. Like, I didn't care. It was just the same thing over and over. It was so repetitive. And honestly, I saw the ending coming from like almost the beginning. I was like, this is what's going to happen. Like, I know it is. And I had no spoilers for this book. I just feel like this book is so predictable. Like, it follows all of these like YA, like, oh my gosh, can't believe that happened tropes, but they've been done so many times now that they're not even shocking anymore. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this. I'm not, like, I feel like nothing was really shocking. There was one reveal actually that was like, oh, I didn't really expect that. But other than that, it was just so predictable and so repetitive. And honestly, the over dramatic angst in this was just so cringy and I was not into it. So this was definitely a miss for me. I was not a fan. I am going to see how people feel about the next book in the series compared to this one before I commit to the next one, because I'm pretty sure that the next one, Fearless, is way longer than the other two. And so if I'm going to commit to that, I need some kind of reassurance that this is not going to just be painful to read. So it was fast. It was easy. I didn't really need to use too much brain power, but it was not very good in my opinion. So moving on to our next roll, there is a possibility this could be the final roll of the game, which would be crazy. I don't even know what I would pick if it was, but maybe not. Maybe we'll have a couple books. Maybe we'll even have 3 books before the end. So we'll see. Whew, here we go with what could be the last roll. Anything 3 or larger, and we're done. A 5. This is crazy. This game was amazing. So nice to me. It's like exactly what I needed. Okay, free pick. Let's go see what I want to read. Okay, I have come with choices. For those of you who don't know, the final spot of the board is a free pick, so I can pick whatever I want. And I have 4 options of books that are potentials for this final spot. The first one I have is Where the Dark Stands Still, and honestly, I just want to read this book. Like, I feel like this is just what I'm feeling, and it would be really fun, but it's not that long, and I'm at the end of the readathon, and we still have over 24 hours left. So then I also have Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This is my Patreon buddy read and our Cosmere read-along book for the month of May. It'd be kind of cool to get it done right at the beginning of May and like have that. I also, though, I'm going on a trip this month, and I like feel like this might be a good one to take with me because it's like smaller. I don't know. This one is a really good choice though. This next one is like my more common choice at this point, and that would be Children of Fallen Gods, because it is longer and it would take me longer to read. Plus I'm not going to listen to the audiobook for this one, so I will be reading it just physically, and I do read more slowly when I do that because I just don't focus as well. And so this one would be like my challenge book. I also am really looking forward to it because I loved the first one, and I think I'll have a good time with this one too. And then another one, this isn't on my monthly TBR, I know, but it is Child of the Prophecy, which is the third and final book in the Seven Waters trilogy. I loved the first two books. I thought they were so good. I absolutely love the writing style in this series. And so I'm really excited to see how this finishes out. Again, this is not on my TBR though, but it is like a thicker book. So it'd be like a more normal final pick choice for me. So those are the ones that I have. Honestly, I chatted with my Patreons, and I'm gonna go with Where the Dark Stands Still. I know I'm gonna finish it really quickly. I'll probably finish it before 24 hours is even up, but I'm just really excited about this book. It's the one I'm leaning towards, it's the one I'm feeling. So this is the book that I am going to go with. I'm really hoping that I love it. I think I will. It just gives me vibes. Plus some of my patrons have read it and said they absolutely love it. So this is what I'm going with, and I can always just read other books for the remainder. Usually actually at this point I would try to play the game again and see if I can finish it twice in 48 hours. But this weekend I just have I've had a lot of stress going on, and I'm just not going to do that this time. So we're going to have this be the final book for the win, and then we'll just see if I can maybe finish another book by the end just for funsies. So yeah. Here we go. I'm finally reading this book. It's been a while since I've been wanting to, and I'm just really hoping I like it. I think I will. Okay, it is now 10 minutes to 5, and last night at about 10 p.m. I finished Where the Dark Stands Still, and I won the readathon. So I actually completed the readathon well ahead of the time that I needed to. So I think it took me 29 hours to complete this 48-hour readathon. So I got plenty of sleep last night. This morning I went for a walk to the bookstore. I kind of chilled. I did read a little bit more, but back to this book. I loved it. I thought this was such a good book. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of this very magical sentient forest. I liked the house, the sentience of that was really fun as well. I really enjoyed the snarkiness of some of the spirits, and I just overall thought it was well written. I enjoyed our main character. I thought she was a good combination of hesitant to do things that she was scared of, and hesitant to do things that might get her killed, but also brave and willing to go outside of her comfort zone and try to do her best to help others, and not being too pushy about her knowing more or being smarter. That was something I really enjoyed in this book. I liked the main male character's a little bit of his grumpiness, standoffishness, and his response to her response to him. It was all very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I was really invested in kind of the mystery of things, what was going on. So overall, I thought this was really well written, and I had a really good time with it. And that rounds out the 4 books that I needed to read for this readathon. So we had The High King for a husband pick. Reckless was for a hardcover, I believe. Emberclaw was a series book. Wait, no. Yes? I'm mixing up my TBR and this game. Yeah. That was right. This is series, and then Where the Dark Stands Still was a free pick for the final spot. So I got through a decent amount of reading. This is 4 books that were all on my May TBR. So I have 4 of the 6 books from my May TBR now read in this one readathon, which was awesome. And then as I had some extra time, I just kind of picked up this book, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. This is a really interesting book on just sleep in general, and it's how necessary it is for the body functioning, the brain, all of these things. It's really fascinating. Makes me feel a little bad about my caffeine addiction and my lack of sleep. But it's very fascinating. I have maybe a little under 100 pages left to go, so I might finish this today as well. So that can kind of be added on to my stack of reading that I got done this weekend as well. But I'm feeling really good about it. I didn't want a too stressful readathon, and I got exactly what I wanted, which I feel is kind of rare for the readathon to give me that. But I'm really happy about it, and yeah, this is my stack. I am done, and I have completed my May readathon, successfully winning it. It was a good start to the month. I'm really excited about this. Let me know how your reading is going in May, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.